stretched his skin beyond belief to get hold of that one. It's a 1-point ball game.
They were gone.
It's absolutely pissing down here at the team.
We've had a draw.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel, and thank you for joining. Now, in today's episode, we're going to have a small discussion about Elliot Yeo. Okay, now he's in that 400 to 500k category, so we have to talk about him. I mean, I wouldn't be doing my job if I wasn't talking about Elliot Yeo. Now, we're going to work out, is he viable for us? And, well, can he be injury-free? That's the main thing. Can he stay in the park? Let's find out. Now, Elliot Yeo is priced at 447k. Okay, that's one of those in-between prices. We don't know what to do. He's in no man's land. What's he going to do? Average 110 or 447? Probably not. What's he going to do? Average 90? What are you going to do with him? Okay. Well, I have a plan for you. Just calm it down. Now, there's a reason I'm doing the Elliot Yeo review. Let me show you. Now, before I show you my plans with Elliot Yeo, let me show you his history. Okay, there isn't much. Okay, the last 4 years has been disaster. We did his review last year, and we're talking about the same thing. We said you should. The only thing you could do with Yeo is start with him, never bring him in. So what do? I don't start with him because obviously he didn't play round one, but I brought him in, and that's what he did. But it was a disaster. But then again, at the time, I didn't have much cash, and he was my 24th or 23rd primo, and only cost 300k. So I said, let's just give it a crack. It didn't work. Anyway, that's a different story for another day. Now, with Yeo, what can he score? Well, you can see he can't score 125, 113. He can't have these big games. He can get injured. Okay, you can see 57, 44 injured. Around in 2022, check these scores out. Actually, there isn't much scoring. It's all injuries. In 2021, he had a good run towards the back end of the season. Okay, you can see here his stretch of scoring 107, 71, 100. So we're just going to see how he scores. But roughly, all you need from him, which I'll show you in a minute, is about a 95 to 100. Okay, let me show you why. Now, the word on the street again. Okay, now this is coming from Perth now. 6PR Perth says Elliot Yeo started a midfield role during West Coast match simulation today. We'll see him will we see him get back to his best? Now, having a look at the picture of Yeo, he actually looks in tip-top shape. Now, I'm not going to have a look at Yeo's charts and his scoring history and all that kind of jazz. None of that. I'm not going to do that today because I did it last year. Okay, well, you know what Yeo can do. Okay, there's no point. What am I going to show you? That he scores a 107 average in the midfield? No, I'm not going to show you that. Okay, because his problem is not scoring. His problem is the injuries. So, let me show you a plan for Yeo. Now, Yeo versus Dacos. Okay. What is the price difference? It's 200k at the moment. Actually, it's probably a little bit more. Now, just roughly 200k. We're going to work roughly today. Everything is rough. Just calm it down. Now, so 200k difference. Now, we know that Yeo can go at 100. Okay, and the only reason we're getting Yeo is if he can go at 100. Now, if Yeo goes at 100. For 5 weeks, that equals 500. Okay? Plus, with the magic number being so high, he's priced at 80. Yeo's going to roughly, okay, in 5 weeks, roughly go up, just say around about, say, 80k, okay? Plus 80k. Now, Dacos, if he goes at 120, which I'm sure he will, okay, 120 for 4 games, because one of those games is against Hawthorn, okay, so one game he might go 130, 140, but he also has Hawthorn in there. Let's just be realistic and say an average of 120, because we're going for a cumulative score, and that's a big word for me. Now, so that equals 480 points, plus the game that he's missing, a rookie's going to play. the rookie should score, say, 60, the 18th player, right? So that equals 540 points, okay? Now, what's a loss here? You're losing 40 points between Yeo and Dacos in the first 5 rounds, okay? It's not that damaging now, but Yeo has gone up 80k. Let's say Dacos has gone down 20k, all right? Minus, because the magic number being so high, you virtually, if you score a lot higher than your average score or what you're priced at, because the magic number is so high, your dollar value increases dramatically. However, if you score under your average score, you're under the magic number, your dollar value devaluates dramatically, okay? So, let's say Dacos loses 20k. So now there's a 100k difference there. So in round 6, okay, you do the switch. Which is equals only 100k. So you say the 100k, you lost 40 points, but that 200k that you saved in this first round, you've spent that elsewhere. Okay, so it sort of even actually works out better for you. So that's a plan with Yeo this year. Every year he lets us down. This year it's our turn for revenge. We're going to let him down. We're going to sack him. Just calm it down. Okay, so we're going to just keep him for 5 rounds. Okay, in round 6 we get rid of him. So he's there as a placeholder short term. That's his job. Now, that would be the only way that I would bring Yeo in. It gives me access to Dacos, okay? For only 100k, I can get Dacos in. Let's, for argument's sake, say you've already got Dacos. You're going to start Dacos anyway, so what's the point? I can't bring in Yeo then. Well, just calm it down. I've got more plans for you. Now, there are other options. Kitty Coleman, okay? He's priced under Yeo. Let's say you watched him the first, because he's got a round 2 bye, okay? So you can do the switch with Elliot Yeo to Coleman in round 3 if you want to, because let's say Coleman went nuts, same as he did in the finals, and his role is so good, taking all the kick-ins, scoring at 130s. You want Coleman? He's so cheap. Just do the switch, Elliot Yeo to Coleman. That's one option. Let's say there's Buderick, okay? Apparently he's got a new role, okay? Let's put Buderick down here. Okay, Buderick. He has a new role, okay? And Hardwick's going to play him similar to how he played Jaden Short and Orioli. So you might want to do a switch to Buderick. Now, they also have the early bye round, so it's feasible to wait for Buderick, see how he plays, and then switch Yeo to Buderick. That's another option. Then you got a fallen primo. Okay, let's say a classic example of that is a player like Houston. Okay, Houston, because Houston, he can go 170 or 160. He can also go 60. Okay, he's one of those type of players. So you just wait for Houston to have one of those 60 games and let his price drop and just do the switch. So Yeo is sort of like cover, but you can't get attached to Yeo, okay? Even if Yeo is scoring at 110s or 120s, don't get attached, okay? You got to let him go because you know what the harm he can cause you. You're only using Yeo to bring in somebody else, okay? Is a placeholder. Now, this idea was brought to me by a friend of mine, Matt Grimston. He came off the brainstorm, and it's actually a good plan. I really liked it, so I'm not taking credit for it. It was actually Matt's idea, and you'll find Grimo on Twitter. He comes up with some crazy ideas, and usually they're pretty good. So that was his idea, and I actually liked it. So hence, I'm giving him the credit for it. Anyway, that's all for today. Thank you for joining. And remember one thing, it's nice to be important, but it's important to be nice. Ciao for now.
That's all, folks.